its 8,086, 80,186, and 80,286 chips. 34. However, in the event of a bankruptcy or takeover of AMD, the cross-licensing agreement would be effectively cancelled. 52. Beginning in 1982, AMD began volume producing second-source Intel licensed 8086, 8088, 80,186, and 80188 processors, and by 1984, its own M286 clone of Intel's 80286 processor, for the rapidly growing market of IBM PCs and IBM clones. 11. 53. It also continued its successful concentration on proprietary bipolar chips. 54. In 1983, it introduced INT.STD.1000, the highest manufacturing quality standard in the industry. 13. 48. The company continued to spend greatly on research and development. 55. And in addition to other breakthrough products, created the world's first 512K EEPROM in 1984. 56. That year, AMD was listed in the book The 100 Best Companies to Work For in America. 48. 57. And later made the Fortune 500 list for the first time in 1985. 58. 59. By mid-1985, the microchip market experienced a severe downturn, mainly due to long-term aggressive trade practices, dumping, from Japan, but also due to a crowded and non-innovative chip market in the United States. 60. AMD rode out the mid-1980s crisis by aggressively innovating and modernizing. 61. Devising the Liberty Chip program of designing and manufacturing one new chip or chipset per week for 52 weeks in fiscal year 1986. 48. 62. And by heavily lobbying the US government until sanctions and restrictions were put in place to prevent predatory Japanese pricing. 63. During this time, AMD withdrew from the DRAM market. 64. And made some headway into the CMOS market, which it had lagged in entering, having focused instead on bipolar chips. 65. AMD had some success in the mid-1980s with the AMD 7910 and AMD 7911 World Chip FSK modem, one of the first multi-standard devices that covered both Bell and XIP tones at up to 1200 baud half duplex or 300/300 full duplex. 66. Beginning in 1986, AMD embraced the perceived shift toward RISC with their own AMD M29000 29K processor winking sad smiley 67. The 29K survived as an embedded processor. 68. 69. The company also increased its EEPROM memory market share in the late 1980s. 70. Throughout the 1980s, AMD was a second-source supplier of Intel x86 processors. In 1991, it introduced its own 386-compatible M386, an AMD-designed chip. Creating its own chips, AMD began to compete directly with Intel. 71. AMD had a large, successful flash memory business, even during the dot-com bust. 72. In 2003, to divest some manufacturing and aid its overall cash flow, which was under duress from aggressive microprocessor competition from Intel, AMD spun off its flash memory business and manufacturing into Spansion, a joint venture with Fujitsu, which had been co-manufacturing flash memory with AMD since 1993. 73. 74. In December 2005, AMD divested itself of Spansion in order to focus on the microprocessor market, and Spansion went public in an IPO. 75. Acquisition of ATI, spin-off of Global Foundries, and acquisition of Xilinx. On the 24th of July, 2006, AMD announced its acquisition of the Canadian 3D graphics card company ATI Technologies. AMD paid $4.3 billion and 58 million shares of its stock, for a total of approximately $5.4 billion. The transaction was completed on the 25th of October, 2006. 76. On the 30th of August, 2010, AMD announced that it would retire the ATI brand name for its graphics chipsets in favor of the AMD brand name. 77. 78. In October 2008, AMD announced plans to spin off manufacturing operations in the form of Global Foundries Inc., a multi-billion-dollar joint venture with Advanced Technology Investment Company, an investment company formed by the government of Abu Dhabi. The partnership and spin-off gave AMD an infusion of cash and allowed it to focus solely on chip design. 79. To assure the Abu Dhabi investors of the new venture's success, AMD CEO Hector Ruiz stepped down in July 2008, while remaining executive chairman, in preparation for becoming chairman of Global Foundries in March 2009. 80. 81. President and COO Dirk Mayer became AMD's CEO. 82. Recessionary losses necessitated AMD cutting 1,100 jobs in 2009. 83. In August 2011, AMD announced that former Lenovo executive Rory Reid would be joining the company as CEO, replacing Mayer. 84. In November 2011, AMD announced plans to lay off more than 10%, 1,400, of its employees from across all divisions worldwide. 85. In October 2012, it announced plans to lay off an additional 15% of its workforce to reduce costs in the face of declining sales revenue. 86. AMD acquired the low-power server manufacturer SeaMicro in early 2012, with an eye to bringing out an ARM architecture server chip. 87. On the 8th of October 2014, AMD announced that Rory Reid had stepped down after 3 years as President and Chief Executive Officer. 88. He was succeeded by Lisa Su, a key lieutenant who had been serving as Chief Operating Officer since June. 89. On the 16th of October 2014, AMD announced a new restructuring plan along with its Q3 results. Effective July 1, 2014, AMD reorganized into two business groups, Computing and Graphics, which primarily include as desktop and notebook processors and chipsets, discrete GPUs, and professional graphics, and enterprise embedded, and semi-custom, which primarily includes server and embedded processors, dense servers, semi-custom SoC products, including solutions for gaming consoles, engineering services, and royalties. As part of this restructuring, AMD announced that 7% of its global workforce would be laid off by the end of 2014. 90. After the Global Foundries spin-off and subsequent layoffs, AMD was left with significant vacant space at 1 AMD Place, its aging Sunnyvale headquarters office complex. In August 2016, AMD's 47 years in Sunnyvale came to a close when it signed a lease with the Irvine Company for a new 220,000 square feet headquarters building in Santa Clara. 91. AMD's new location at Santa Clara Square faces the headquarters of arch rival Intel across the Bayshore Freeway and San Thomas Aquino Creek. Around the same time, AMD also agreed to sell 1 AMD Place to the Irvine Company. 92. In April 2019, the Irvine Company secured approval from the Sunnyvale City Council of its plans to demolish 1 AMD Place and redevelop the entire 32-acre site into townhomes and apartments. 92. In October 2020, AMD announced that it was acquiring Xilinx in an all-stock transaction. The acquisition of Xilinx was completed in February 2022, with an estimated acquisition price of $50 billion. 93-94 List of CEOs. Name years position. Education Jerry Sanders 1969-2002 Founder. Electrical Engineer Hector Ruiz 2002-2008 Electrical Engineer Dirk Mayer 2008-2011 Computer Engineer Ori Reed 2011-2014 Information Systems Lisa Su 2014 Present Electrical Engineer. Products. CPUs and APUs. AMD logo.svg. Advanced Micro Devices Microprocessors 2000.
Yes, short break, because I have some videos I need to put public. And it's late, it's 10 p.m. It's a bit late, so I have to lower the microphone a little bit to level 50. But this camcorder will be out of power soon. Yes, got 3 more videos, it's ready to be public. Let's go and get a bit more cola. No, I don't know much about ADM, no ABM, no AMD, sorry. But in the early start of the AMD, they did not sign their own x86 CPUs, because they make the Intel design, the Intel 8086 and 8088 and the 8186 and 8286. Actually I saw AMD 8088 for sale. I think I will buy it, but I'm a little bit low on money, because I already spent $60 today. I did buy a small collection of, not a small, but I think that's like more than 15 CPUs, maybe 20. That's not, I did buy a large collection of old CPUs, Intel today $60. And before that I spent $50. I did buy this 186. So I already spent more than $110. I spent $110 few days. It's not that much, it's not so much money, but I don't have so much money left because I have this debt. I'm paying $1,100. I did borrow some money 3 years ago. No, this is the one I did pay. Yes, less $50, something like that. This is the Intel 186 there. But we are recording, but the AMD, they was making the Intels, the 8086 and the 8088. And you have a AMD 80. Yes, inside here we have this Intel 80 one, but I'll not take it out again because I opened it. So actually I think I will buy a new one, but they're not cheap. They're not cheap, this one. But he had more than one. He got more. I think I need to buy a new one. I'm not open. I just keep it into there maybe. Then it's maybe working. I don't know, but I'm a little bit low money because I have to pay this debt every month on top of this rent, this apartment, electricity bill and internet and all kinds of stuff. And insurance I have to pay $1,100, and I have a low pension. But I'm getting some YouTube money in like 2 weeks. Yes, let's try to put the last video public, but it's more than 10 p.m. so I have to try lower my voice. Yes, I'll put this 3 video public. Yes, then I need to add it to my playlists. 55, 56, no 80, 85, 86, part 87. Good. Yes, they are all public. So let's go back to beds. Now I need to buy this AMD 8088. I think that's a rare one. That's even older than this 8186 I already got. So then I just need the 8086. I maybe buy it later tonight. I will think about it, but that's only like $30. But I have like $140 left, so $30 out of $140. That's a lot of money. That's 30% of all the money. I will think about it. Let's continue.
900 series, 1975. AMD 29000 series, 1987-95. 386 AMX86 series, 1991-95. K5 architecture, 1996. K6 architecture, 1997-2001. Bulldozer series PUS bulldozer pilot driver steamroller excavator, 2011-2017. Bobcat series PUS Bobcat Jaguar, Puma, 2011 present. Zen Core Architecture, 2017. Zen Allen Series, released 2018. Zen 3 Series, released 2020. IBM PC and the x86 architecture. In February 1982, AMD signed a contract with Intel, becoming a licensed second source manufacturer of 8086 and 8088 processors. IBM wanted to use the Intel 8088 in its IBM PC, but its policy at the time so required at least 2 sources for its chips. AMD later produced the M286 under the same arrangement. In 1984, Intel internally decided to no longer cooperate with AMD in supplying product information in order to shore up its advantage in the marketplace, and delayed and eventually refused to convey the technical details of the Intel 80386.95. In 1987, AMD invoked arbitration over the issue, and Intel reacted by cancelling the 1982 Technological Exchange Agreement altogether. 96, 97, after 3 years of testimony, AMD eventually won in arbitration in 1992, but Intel disputed this decision. Another long legal dispute followed, ending in 1994 when the Supreme Court of California sided with the arbitrator and AMD. 98, 99. In 1990, Intel countersued AMD, renegotiating AMD's right to use derivatives of Intel's microcode for its cloned processors. 100. In the face of uncertainty during the legal dispute, AMD was forced to develop cleanroom-designed versions of Intel code for its x386 and x486